This is Growling Whispers. I was not planning on making this video tonight, and I was debating whether or not to actually make one at all, given one of the questions and my fear to answer it. But I just decided very, very suddenly that this is something that I want to do, and so I am just going to power through this as quickly as I can before I lose my nerve. My apologies if this is less relaxing than normal. This, of course, by the way, is my video response to Gentle Whispering and the Water Whispers Ilse's International ASMR Day tag video. 7 questions. You most likely already know what they are, but I will read them as I go. Jumping right in, number 1, what does International ASMR Day mean to you? I cannot begin to tell you how much I love that this was the first question. I love games, all kinds of games, video games, board games, role-playing games. But I also love those kind of, just think about this kind of games. For instance, if you could make your dream band, pulling artists from any band, any era, any guitarist, any drummer, alive or dead, who would you get for your dream band? That kind of game. And one of the ones that, I probably am not the only person who created this game, but I am the only person I know who has. Years ago, I created if you could create a holiday, just a new holiday, what would it be? Who would celebrate it? What would the traditions of the holiday be? When would it be celebrated? That kind of thing. And International ASMR Day to me is a holiday. It is a time to celebrate this community and to celebrate that wonderful, bizarre, unexplainable phenomena that brings so many of us together. I've already seen the beginnings of traditions pop up, and I love that. I love how organic it all is. None of this. And I have been observing this for, quite a while, not longer than anyone else, but, I've been watching this for a while. And I marvel at how none of it feels forced. Everything just came together, and that is beautiful. People from all over the world who had never met in real life. relatively recently had a name. Absolutely beautiful. Now moving on into question number 2. How do you see this day celebrated year to year, and what kind of traditions should we adopt? Again, part of the same game, and I love the question. However, it's kind of hard for me to answer because the thing that I love so much about it is how spontaneous and organic it is. So for me to try to think of what kind of traditions should we adopt, I don't really like the word should. I am more than content to just see where it goes. Now, that is not to say that there is not some guidance. I don't know how it comes together. I noticed, one of the things I noticed recently, in fact, I had an idea for a video that I wanted another artist to collaborate with me on. And when I thought of that, I had never seen a collaboration video. To my knowledge, I was the first one to think it. But as I was mulling it over in my mind and trying to decide, the best script, and I had already picked the person that I wanted for that collaboration, who is, of course, ASMR Nova Star, who is absolutely brilliant and one of my favorites, but not the person that I will be parodying in question number 6. Wow, I really digressed there. What was I saying? Oh, right. I had not seen any collaboration videos, but then after I had asked her about it and she had agreed, and we had started to work on this first collaboration video, I saw another one already produced. And I wasn't upset by it. I was just amazed that here all this time, never seen a collaboration video, and then the thought seemed to occur to multiple people at the same time. And I know I didn't speak to anyone else about it. And this is all a very long way of saying the same thing I said before. I love how organic the traditions are, because I have now already seen several collaboration videos. I have made several collaboration videos, and that I have seen videos that other people have made talking about how this is something that they want to do too. It's a tradition already, or will become a tradition. I don't know exactly how long something has to occur before you can call it a tradition. But things like that I see continuing to happen, and I just so look forward to being a part of it. Here's the question that scared me. Number 3, show us your tingle face. Now it does say or draw it if you are not comfortable with showing yourself. However, you know, I have been examining my life recently, and I have gone far too much of my life letting fear prevent me from doing things. And so here's a very small step toward my desire to eventually make live videos. Here is my tingle face. Okay, I just have to do this fast because the longer I am recording this, the more likely I am not to post it. This is Growling Whispers, and this is my face. The question was, show us your tingle face. And now I'm going to show you mine. Have the headphones on because the speakers on my laptop don't work. So I always have to have my headphones on whenever I'm doing anything related to ASMR. So this is just kind of how I normally look when I'm at home. So anyway, this is generally what I look like when I am getting tingles. Okay, that's enough. Okay, number 4. God, I don't think I'm going to be able to let myself watch that. I apologize if that was just horrible. Okay, number 4. Describe your most intense ASMR response moment, either in real life or through a video. I don't really know what I would call the most intense moment. There are several different kinds. I mentioned in a tag video a long time ago, or not really that long, I've only had my channel up since February. I am digressing again. I talked about in another video, when I was in 2nd grade, my teacher turning out the lights and whispering and blowing smoke into my ear when I had a horrible earache, and how the personal close-up attention and the whispering and the care was... Okay, my neighbors are making noise again, but this time I'm letting it go. All of that was a huge trigger for me, and has been ever since. Another trigger of mine, I used to deliver newspapers for years and years and years in junior high and high school. And every day I would come home from delivering papers, everybody box of cereal, and I would go to where we kept the bowls and where we kept the silverware, and every step I was so deliberate and so careful to be quiet that it became a ritual. And I would meditate every morning doing this and completely bliss myself out just making a bowl of cereal. Come to think of it, I think I told that story in the same video. My apologies if I'm being redundant. Number 5. How did ASMR improve your life? Do you see any positive changes? Now, I know I have told this one before. Very recently, in fact, the video I did yesterday, I talked about this a bit. ASMR did so much for me. I was a very depressed person, and I'm not going to lie, I still am. I struggle with depression every day, and there are days when making videos and knowing that there are other people out there making videos to help me, that's all that keeps me going some days. It's better than it used to be. That community, again, it keeps coming back to this community. The sense of belonging, the sense of acceptance and purpose. And genuine care. I can never express just how much this community means to me. And I'm going to move on now. Number 6. Make a short parody of one of your favorite whisperers or ASM artists, and make sure to mention their name. I thought about this one, and I'm going to reach way back to one of the first artists I found in the ASMR community. I sadly have not heard anything from this artist in quite a while. I don't know if she is still making videos. I would love to know. Anyway, I'm going to do the parody and then say who this is to see if any of you know this person. So, moment here. 2 important things to remember are, number 1, to breathe in oxygen on the in-breath. Good. And number 2, breathe out carbon dioxide on the out-breath. Good. Now, we must make sure not to mix these two up, because if you breathe in carbon dioxide on the in-breath and out oxygen on the out-breath, you are a plant. That, of course, was Whispering in Blue, and the name of that video was the Extremely Relaxing Relaxation Program. She has this perfectly crystal clear voice, and it is amazing how, not pitch-wise deep, but just how encompassingly deep her voice is. And she does these, or did these, amazingly effective relaxation pieces, and for a while that is all I knew of her. And then I ran across these comedic pieces of hers, like the extremely relaxing relaxation program, and it's absolutely brilliant. One of my favorite artists, and if she is still out there, I would just like her to know how inspiring I find her. Number 7. How do you see ASMR developing in the next 5 years? Honestly, I could see this going a couple different ways, good and bad. And I think, as much as it pains me to say it, that it will end up being a little bit of both. I love the idea of WhisperCon. I have wanted to create, or have a hand in creating, WhisperCon. I do see something like that happening. Conventions, be they large or small, located in different parts of the world, where artists and people who, you don't have to be an artist, you don't have to be a content creator, but anyone can come and experience and enjoy. I would love to see the creation of ASMR Island for real. A real island resort where people would come, and it would be like so many other, resorts, with the, saunas and pools and massages and places to relax and places to play and beautiful vistas to explore. ASMR Island would also be a place where it was people's job to give you tingles. I would love to work at ASMR Island. I think it would be brilliant. I use that word a lot lately. Brilliant. I wonder why. Anyway, I see the creation of smaller, more, at this point in time, more realistic versions of ASMR Island. I know that in some major cities, at least in America, particularly in New York, there is a relaxation center, a place where they have these special chairs designed so that you can recline in them and be kind of isolated in a dark and quiet space. And I could see incorporating elements of ASMR into something like that, where you lay down in a chair and you can choose if you like the sound of crinkles. You know, here's a menu. Just put in what you like, lay it back, and for the next half hour, here is what will give you tingles or what will help you relax. The negative side that I see the potential for is stratification. Whenever you have people creating entertainment, and while, yes, so much of the ASMR community is about helping people to relax, I don't know that I have ever seen a single video that I would say was not on some level entertaining as well. And so whenever you have people entertaining each other, there is the possibility for competition to arise. And no matter how inclusive you try to be, if you're giving awards for who is the best at something, you're dividing, you're separating, and you're judging. And I'm not saying that this is occurring. It is just a fear that I have, that within the next 5 years there will be A-list and B-list and so on ASMR artists. Even thinking it makes me very sad. things that I love about the contests that I have seen is that I have not once seen one where they're choosing the best. It's always random. Out of all the entries, we're just going to pick some at random. And everyone who I have seen host one of these contests says the same thing. I know what I like. I know what is my favorite. But I don't want that to influence people. I don't want that to stop people from participating. God, I love this community. I love all of you. This is Growling Whispers, and I wish you all